In this exercise, we will demonstrate how to skin different types of cable ends with the proper tools for the skinning. At the end of this exercise, you shall be able to skin the insulation of cables using a knife without causing nicking to the conductor, manual stripper and a wire stripper with auto ejection of insulation. Strip off the insulation of the PVC sheeted cable using the knife. Strip off the insulation of the PVC sheeted cable using side cutting pliers.
Requirements: tools and instruments. Wireman's toolkit 1 set. Wire stripper, manual and auto, 1 each. Diagonal cutting pliers, 150 mm, 1 number. Procedure. Task 1. Skin the cable insulation using a knife. Mark the length of 1.5 square millimeter cable at 400 mm from its end. Cut the cable using a combination pliers at the mark. Mark the length of the insulation to be skinned from either end. Check the sharpness of the knife blade and resharpen if necessary. Remove the insulation of the cable for about 10 mm at its end using a knife. Keep the knife blade at an angle of about 20 to the cable. Check there is no nicking over the conductor. Task 2. Skin the cable insulation using a manual stripper. Mark and cut the length of the cable to the trimmed off. Straighten the ends at which insulation is to be skinned. Mark the point from which the insulation is to be skinned. Adjust the jaws of the manual stripper and set them to suit the gap equivalent to the size of the conductor core. Set the jaws at the mark. Press the handle of the stripper and turn to cut the insulation. Pull the stripper to remove the insulation. Task 3. Skin the cable insulation using an auto stripper. Mark the length of insulation to be removed from the ends. Straighten the cable ends. Study the stripper and its working. Select a slot in the jaws whose diameter is equal to the conductor core diameter. Locate the jaws of the stripper exactly at the mark. Press the stripper. Further pressing makes the required length of insulation cut from the cable end.
At the end of this exercise, you shall be able to skin the cable end, select the crimping lug that suits the wire size and the terminal size. Select the crimping pliers that match the selected crimping lug size. Use the crimping pliers to crimp the lug at the cable end. Use an eyelet crimping pliers to prepare eyelet terminations.
Requirements: tools and instruments. Wire stripper, that is manual, 200 mm, 1 number. Crimping pliers, 150 and 200 mm, 1 number. Wire stripper, auto eject or manual, 200 mm, 1 number. Steel rule, 300 mm, 1 number. side cutting pliers 150 millimeter, one number. Eyelet crimping, that is closing pliers 200 millimeter with former for eyelets having inner dia of 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 millimeter, one number. Procedure. Task 1. Crimping of lug connector. Collect the cable, that is fine multi-strand copper conductor. Collect the spade connector suitable to the core thickness and terminal size of 6 millimeter dia. Twist the strands of the wire lightly in the same direction as in the original. Select the crimping pliers that matches with the terminal size. Clamp the spade connector with the crimping pliers in the matching position of jaws. Apply sufficient pressure in the handle of the crimping pliers to press the lug connector fully.